Okay, so what I want to talk about here is going for flanks versus fighting front to back. So we need to pause really quickly to look at what our team is actually good at. So if we look at the team comps right here, we have a Jax who has been, despite his early advantage, pretty much crapped on. Ray is relatively fed. We have Trundle, Zed, and Nautilus and Ezreal, right? And they have a much higher damage AD carry in Twitch, and they have a much beefier front line in this Alistar with ult building full tank. And they have two Zhonya's on their team, plus Jax who can ult and counter-strike to survive a lot of our very auto-attack oriented damage. So this is probably not a team that we want to fight front to back with. And by front to back, I mean pouring our damage into their front line while we give Twitch and Veigar time to get a bunch of auto attacks or rotations off. Because even though they're not very fed, they still do a lot of damage. So in this situation, we've established decent enough vision here. And because we are up on kills and farm at this point in the game, I think we feel pretty good and we're going for a fight, but we're going to approach this team fight wrong. So if we pause the map right here and look at what we're trying to get, Van is pushing in the bot lane, and this is probably better to have him top lane. Alternatively, since he was responding to a push on this tower, we could have Darius up in the top lane, and we made the call a couple of times to go for the 1-3-1, but we never really did. So right now we're going to try a team fight, and we're going to fight it front to back. You're going to see what happens. So even though we've got vision established pretty well, and this is a great, I don't know who put this word here, but we see the Echo come in, and we see him start this, okay? Now if we pause right there, Alistar gets a really aggressive flash off. That's just, the Alistar was pretty good. Jax is right here, who we see, and I'm right here. And I'm locked out of this team fight by Jax, and Trundle's coming in from right here. So already we're starting a team fight where we've got one person late, one person zoned and late. I'm not going to do much damage at all this team fight. And they've expended a flash. So I'm going to slow this down just a little bit. So Raymond flashes out right here, and we choose to re-engage. But if we stop right here, we're out, right? Van has already made the rotation to come help this fight, but we're out on this play. And because we were trying to go back in here, the Nautilus ult is not going to get these back two people, so it's probably a wasted Nautilus ult. And if you watch the amount of damage that I do on Ezreal, I mean, it's none. So because we're fighting this front line, look at where all of our attention is focused on Alistar and the Zhonya's and ult up Echo and on this Jax. We pump out a decent amount of damage, but we don't really manage to do anything with it. And we allow Veigar 1W, right? And now he's going to keep casting, yep. More, so it's just, by the time Van can get here, this fight is over. This fight is completely over. We fought front to back. We spent a lot of energy on the front line. We got Jax low, but he's not even a high priority target. Echo's about to show why he's a bad target to fight. I've done no damage whatsoever, and we lost. And we lost this, a fight that we could have disengaged from and didn't have to fight at all. So at the end of this fight, Van does manage to pick up the Jax and get the Twitch really low, which just those two things alone should show us exactly what could happen if we fought on a flank as opposed to fighting front to back. And we're going to pick up this Echo and get out here, but ultimately it's going to cost us. Ray's going to die. I'm going to get low and die in just a couple of seconds. So if we go back and look at this team fight again and see what our options were, we could have disengaged here. Because we've got pressure in the bot lane, Van can keep pushing to disengage. And it's Van's left at this point right here, so it's clear that we made the call to fight, right? We made a call like, hey, we can fight him, let's come fight him mid. But there's no dragon up. We're not an excellent Baron taking team, we're an okay Baron taking team, but we're a much better flanking team. So if we had backed out of this fight, it could have gone a lot better for us on a flank later on. Let's watch this again. There's a flash engage. Ray flashes to get out. We're out. And we make the call to go back in here to a fight that we absolutely cannot win. So I don't know who is the person who should have made the call to exit at that point, but I think we can all probably know that unless we have Van close enough to start doing damage at that point, that we shouldn't have taken the fight, because we're not tanky enough to survive it, especially against a Twitch and a Veigar. And so if we look at where Van was when this fight starts, okay, let's just wait. So the fight starts now. Van is by Dragon when this fight starts. So we need to know where a lot of our damage is, and Van is a bunch of our, he's got 8 kills at this point. He's got Duskblade, like he's doing a lot of damage, but he's not here for this fight because we started it too early. And even though Ray makes the right play to flash out here, we choose to go back in, and that's what costs it for us. If we were able to reset Alistar, who's ulting right now and who just used his flash, won't have either of those, and we can probably go for a flank. If we have baited them into this area and we're all full health over here, then Van, because look, they have no, we've set up all the elements for success here. We've got vision control, we've got a split push going. Van's going to have access to this back line, but because we all get so low, Van has to come sort of through the front and is able to kill Jax and get Twitch low, but that's it. So we didn't enable him to do the damage that he could do and to really do his job because we started the fight too early and we didn't allow ourselves to disengage. So I think we need to be more aware on the map of where people are and what our priority for winning a fight is, and whether or not we can fight front to back or whether or not we need to wait and set up a flank. We had the flank set up, we just executed the fight too early, and that denied us the flank and lost us the fight. And this is the point where the game really starts to go downhill for us.